Hi, this video is about backing up all the files you have in Google Drive. There are several ways of downloading everything. You can do it manually, don't do it. You can use the automatic backup system they have that will compress your drive in a zip and then they send you the link to download the file. That's also not the best solution because if your zip occupies the disk till here, you cannot uncompress it. So you cannot have access to your files anyway, unless you have another disk. So there is another solution, and I will explain you how you can do it. And it's easy. It's not easy to set up, but once it's set up, it's the best solution you have to keep your drive synchronized, backed up, and you can even work during the backup on files and turn off the computer and turn on again. When it's done, it's done. So in this case, I'm assuming that you have a disk that you can clean totally. So this is a new external hard drive that you bought from a store today or yesterday or something. And you should format it, format the disk. So right click, format, and then you should choose exFAT system. In Mac or PC, this will keep the disk compatible through both systems. Give it a name. For example, Azad drive, quick format, okay, start, yes, and format is complete, close, and now this drive is empty. I will create here a folder called drive backup, and I will use this folder as my Google Drive, so everything comes to this folder. To do it, you will need to have a software that is going to run every time as the computer is turned on. So you go to Google Drive, and in your Google Drive, you see, this is the space I have occupied. It will be a little bit more, this number is not correct. So imagine more 25% of this, probably. You go here to the cogwheel, and you click on this second option that says get drive for computer, probably in English, download drive for desktop, and now you save it, or it saves automatically in the downloads, I don't know. And once it's done, you install this little software. So let's close the browser, double click here. I want to install Drive, yes. Add application desktop, no. Add desktop shortcuts for Google Docs, also no. Install, you don't need that. You should, once the backup is done, you should uninstall everything and just put your disk in a drawer and you have your backup saved. Everything is done, closed. So now I should have here, okay, ignore that. I should have here the software. So I will open the software. I will pause the syncing, and I will change a setting in preferences, Google Drive, and here by default it's streamed files, but you want to change to mirror files. This streamed files only syncs the files that you are working on. What do you want to do is copy every file to your computer or to your external drive. So you are going to select these mirror files, and the mirror files, it says here, my drive files will be stored at C. For Mac is different, of course, but C users, whatever it is here, your name and my drive. This is a system folder. This is where the operative system is. In Mac OS should be the same. So you don't want to use this folder, you want to use your external drive. So you change location here, and now you go to Google Drive, to your external disk, and you choose that folder you created. If you notice there is a drive here, a Google Drive G. This is a virtual drive. This does not exist in your computer. This was made by this software. And this is like a simulation of your Google Drive on the internet. Don't open it. Okay, choose a file to sync your My Drive. You choose your external disk and select folder, confirm location, save, and this needs to restart. So Google Drive will restart in mirror mode. Come on, it's here. Now you open this, you go to the cogwheel, and you can start resume syncing. So what is happening is that all the files that I have in my Google Drive are being copied one by one to my Google Drive folder. And I will open here, as you can see. Let me open the Google Drive so you can compare. Google Drive, so 2122, it's here, Classroom, it's here. And this folder is a temporary download folder, so the files that Google Drive is downloading are currently being saved there, and then they are copied to the correct location. But now I have 2,405 files to synchronize. It will copy one by one. And once it's done, once this is 0, it will say here, backup is completed, and it's done. You don't have any problems with losing your files because you have a disk with all your files. This solves the problem of copying my disk, but doesn't solve the problem of the shared disks. Okay? This needs to be done manually, and the problem of doing this manually is that you need to solve one disk at a time. And you cannot just drag it here, even from this virtual drive. So now the problem is your Google Drive, So now the problem is how you can sync the external, the shared disks you have here. You have a lot of shared disks here, and you want to copy them to your drive. You cannot use the same folder because if you copy those here, Google Drive will start to upload them to your disk. You can also not just copy to your disk. There is no option to do it, but there is a way. In the root of the disk, before the Google Drive backup folder, you're going to create another folder called shared drives. And now you can manually drag the things here. From where? Well, you open this virtual disk, you go directly here to the shared drives, and now you just drag whatever folder you want to copy. You need to do, I guess you can do it all of them at the same time, but it's easier if you do one at a time. You just copy whatever drive you want to back up. So just drag this folder here, just drag the folder there, and it should start download the files directly to the folder. So you can drag from this Google Drive virtual disk, from the shared drives folder, you drag to a different folder from the Google backup, or else it will start to send them back. Because this software will synchronize this folder with the drive. Everything you have there, it will be synced to your computer. Everything you have in your computer inside this folder, it will be sent there. So, assuming that everything is done, assuming that this is finished, 0 files here, so no problems, everything is done, everything is perfect, you don't have anything else to do, you can just uninstall this. But before that, let's talk about going to classes next morning. So you cannot leave your computer working at home, maybe. So to turn off your computer, you should pause this, pause syncing. You should close Google Drive. So you go here and quit. Files are still syncing, will be lost, no problem. It's just the files that is currently downloading, no problem. So now that the software is not running in background, and I can remove the disk. Eject USB drive, and I have no problems. Yes, the disk is safe to remove. So now I can remove the disk. The disk is no longer here. As you can see, no more disk. So you can go to school, have classes, blah, blah, blah. When you return home, you turn on the disk first. Disk is here again, and you just open the app. Should be around, I don't know. In this case, it's here. And now Google Drive is already running again. And just go here and resume syncing. What is going to happen? It will check the files where it stayed and just start again downloading the files that are missing. And that's it. Once you download everything, this will be 0 here, and you can uninstall the application so you don't have problems of deleting the files in Google Drive and then they being deleted in your computer. Don't forget this. This will synchronize the drives. So once the backup is done, uninstall the application, change the name of the folder, I don't know, to something to prevent Google Drive to find this folder again. Because when you delete the files in the internet, this app will detect deleted files and will delete them here at the same time. So everything I have here, if I delete here, they will disappear in Google Drive. If I delete in Google Drive, they will disappear here. So to avoid that, at the end, everything is done. Let's imagine that everything is done. You don't need anymore this application. Quit Google Drive, yes. You go to the apps, settings, apps, Google Drive, uninstall, yes, uninstall, and no more Google Drive. So now you can delete your files in Google Drive. They will stay in your drive, in this external drive. Just to be sure, change this name, because if you change the name, Google Drive will never find the folder again. So now you have a backup with everything you download. You can do whatever you want to do with this external disk. And now you can go to the internet and safely delete the files you don't need anymore. I don't know. That's it. For Macintosh, probably this is a similar process. The software doesn't run here, runs up there, but it's the same thing probably. So if you have any questions, comment below and ask them. Maybe I can help you or someone else help you. And don't do this on 14th of June because this will take 3, 4, 5 days to copy. Okay, so good luck.